the next session, which is the fireside chat. We'll be keeping questions to the end of the session to make full use of all of the participants and all of the people here today. So the fireside chat on enhancing CX through WhatsApp Business API will be hosted by Mr. Rachit Ranjan, and our special guest who will be fending his questions will be Mr. Rishikesh Patankar. Mr. Ranjan is currently the Public Policy Manager for WhatsApp in India. Previously, he was the head of Public Policy at Uber India for Federal Affairs. Rachit is a lawyer by training and also an alumnus of National University of Judicial Sciences and UC Berkeley School of Law. His guest, Mr. Patankar, has more than 20 years of experience in ICT, including stints at National Government R&D Lab, top universities abroad, and the Indian Navy. He holds 3 master's degrees and manages large-scale multiple projects in the ICT domain. An avid cyclist, swimmer, and runner, Mr. Patankar serves as a Chief Operating Officer in CSC E-Governance Services India Limited, SPV under Ministry of Electronics and IT, looking after education, skill development, and CSC Academy. So I'd like to welcome both to the stage, and you have the stage for the next 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thanks, Nisha, and a warm welcome to everyone who's joined the event. A special thank you to Mr. Patankar for kindly agreeing to this conversation. We will keep the conversation limited to 4 or 5 questions, Mr. Patankar, but we broadly want to understand your approach as CSC in the delivery of effective communications and the various tools that you would employ to reach out to your intended beneficiaries across the country. So without standing on ceremony, I'd kick off with the first question here. Mr. Patankar, so delivering your message to your intended audience is a key essential to driving effective communication. How are you delivering information to those who need it, especially in an era where people are becoming more empowered to be selective in their approach? I think we saw a brilliant presentation from Shrikant earlier to see the changes that we are seeing in communication patterns. So from that perspective, what tools and technologies do you think organizations and service providers should use to engage stakeholders to create a value-added experience?
Yeah, thank you, Rachit. And in fact, if you see, India's digital canvas is continuously increasing. We have largest number of biometric identity in the country, as well as largest number of Android app downloads, which are happening in the country. So digital canvas is wide and is continuously expanding. And information needs to be sent to the people who want it. And your message should be very clear and concise so that people can basically get empowered through it. CSCs, in fact, have large network. As you are aware, we are 3.75 plus common service center, and most of the central government as well as state government ministries are implementing their flagship programs through the common service centers. So it becomes very important in order to pass on the correct message to both our village level entrepreneurs, who are basically the backbone or the digital soldiers, as we call them, and to the citizens, so that citizens can come and get the information or get the service delivery. So that is the biggest or the largest challenge. And right kind of information at the right time should flow. That is also very important. And country as diverse as India, where number of states, districts are nearly 700 plus, more than 6,500 blocks or talukas are there, and 2.5 lakh gram panchayats and 6.5 lakh villages. So if you want to convey information or convey message, it becomes very important that we use technology, and that becomes important. And also, I believe the multilingual factor of the information becomes important, because locally we need to have local dialects, local language. So multilingual is the key word here. The technology which supports multilingual is important, as well as multimodal. We need not be into a one particular format. We need to provide citizens as well as people across the country information at various with various modes, so that they can understand, they can grasp, and they can take decisions. Personalized information again becomes important. That is a concept which is used in education or teaching or learning management systems, but people would like to have a personalized kind of message. That becomes important. And we have seen social media tools are powerful, and right kind of information, if delivered, can do wonders. We are seeing in COVID-19 vaccination drive, where district administration is providing messages, then central government is providing messages, and we have seen the success of that story as well. Also, critical information needs to be taken care of, because wrong information or false information, if it goes, then it becomes a hurdle. So I think that that is the challenge right now, but technology will surely help us in doing that.
And in the context of effective personalized communication, given the fact that Common Services Centers runs a host of schemes across the country, when you started the project to integrate with WhatsApp, in terms of your experience, how convenient was it for CSC to integrate WhatsApp to its existing communication channels?
Uh, in fact, if you see, we have a number of VLEs, nearly 3.75 lakh, as I mentioned. 6,000 VLEs at the block level who are working in different areas. And it is important that we send the information to them. And integrating WhatsApp was a decision taken by the management, and I think that has done wonders, because we are able to send information to the stakeholders using this tool. Also, the chatbot which we have integrated for our two of our projects, the largest digital literacy mission of the world, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan, as well as the Digital Beti initiative, where empowerment of women is being done. Nearly 2.5 lakh women were trained on digital marketing and digital skills. I think that that is very useful, because this integration was very smooth. And when we were interacting with the WhatsApp team, I think they clearly mentioned us what are the milestones and how it will be used. The POC was shown to us, and I think it was remarkable. I think it was converted in a record time, and I think that becomes very important, that you understand the technology and you also implement and see the technology working. I think that is basically the real empowerment.
And Mr. Padankar, could I just request you to elaborate a little more on the use cases that you have currently activated on WhatsApp? You alluded to the digital literacy and the digital Beti programs, but for the benefit of the audience, if you could elaborate a little more on that, and what's been the stakeholder reaction to the communication with the chatbots that have been rolled out by CSC on?
Yeah. In fact, as I mentioned, we have rolled out two use cases. One is called PMG Disha, or Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. It is also available on www.pmgdisha.in. Details are available there. It's the world's largest program, where we are basically training and certifying 6 crore or 60 million people in the rural areas. It's basically awareness on digital literacy, how to use computers, laptops, how to use mobile phones, how to do how to use financial payments modes. Also, the citizen-centric services are available in the course. It is a 20 hours course, and our aim is to cover all the gram panchayats and all the villages so that rural population is empowered through digital literacy. This program basically covers nearly 40% of the rural population, and still nearly 60% of rural population is still left behind. But there are various other schemes which are covering them. So Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan is basically for rural citizens to get access to the Digital India program, get trained on digital literacy, and use that digital literacy uh, uh, in their social life as well as in their day-to-day life, so that they become empowered. The second intervention over here is called the Digital Beti program, which we are running in support with Facebook, where our 5,000 centers across the country in 10 states were supposed to train 50 women budding entrepreneurs. And through this, we gave them training on digital marketing, digital skills, and how to use Facebook for marketing. And I think that has been a great step, because many women were empowered through this program. And the whole customer experience, or the last beneficiary experience, has been wonderful, because we are getting feedback from both our village level entrepreneurs who are basically implementing that program, as well as the beneficiaries who have got impacted from the program. There are certain challenges on the user's ability to use this system, as Shrikant was mentioning, that I think the human contact becomes important. So human contact is there. We are doing it in a blended fashion, and the chatbots are here to stay, because more or less it is information dissemination. But later part, when transactions are also integrated into that, I think that will create wonders, because you can get your transaction details through chatbot. I think that will help us in order to deliver personalized as well as specific information to the end customer or the beneficiary. So this important aspect is, I think, will surely help us.
Thank you, Mr. Padangar. And I think this is a good segue to my follow-up questions on this. When you were launching the WhatsApp API for CSC, I think external communication and engagement with your stakeholder base would have played a very important role. So how did you make stakeholders aware that you're available on WhatsApp to ensure that there is maximum engagement with the account?
So it is done both on traditional as well as using technology. So we do both traditional ways of sending information that this is the WhatsApp API number and for this scheme. So there are a lot of technology which we have used. In fact, our digital Seva portal, that is the integrated portal for all our village level entrepreneurs. We have flashed messages over there. We have WhatsApp groups for each state and each district, and all the information was sent to all of them, including a lot of e-newsletters which we send daily to our stakeholders. So that was the information. Also, the project portals as well as all our apps had a pop-up message saying that this is the number which needs to be used for getting the information. So yes, we have been using traditional methods of communication, as well as we have been using technology in order to tell or convey our messages to our stakeholders. So social media, we have put in a lot of information so that people are aware. Email, outbound calls we are doing, and that pop-up messaging we have been doing, and that has basically fairly done. This mechanism has fairly done well. I think a lot of people have information, but still we see that many people do not have the kind of information we would like to have, because when you pass on information from one channel to another channel, or at the lower end, say for your passing the information from central to maybe a state to a district, so that information kindly becomes slightly distorted. So we would like to have a foolproof system, because what we convey goes to the ground. That becomes very important, I think. And that is a challenge also. and it is a problem for us, but we are trying to mitigate that. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Padanga. And my one last question is to the last point that you made, that and also something that came out of the study that Shrikant was alluding to in his presentation, that how do you see the future of this sort of communication, and in terms of CSC's roadmap on adoption of an omni-channel journey, the service agnostic journey that you think of, to take the engagement and experience to the next level for your intended beneficiaries? I think we have lost Mr. Patankar briefly.
Yeah, I think he's trying to connect back in. I think he's having some difficulty. So in the interest of time, Mr. Ranjan, is it okay if we move to the next session?
Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem I do hope that Mr. Patankar, it's been communicated to Mr. Patankar. Oh, he's joined, I believe.
Mr. Patankar, are you back online?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I'm there.
All right, so we had
Am
one
I
last
audible?
question. Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay.
One last question from Mr. Ranjan, sir.
Yes, I was saying that I think interaction, say for example, interaction in families, like personal and emotional, becomes important. So that is the key. I think if we can include the personalized information, that is important. If we can give this information, as well as a lot of stakeholders, including government, has recognized the usage of these platforms for connecting to the beneficiaries as well as to the customers. We have seen banking industry doing this. We have seen the food and beverage industry right now doing it. Insurance companies are already doing it. I think there's a huge opportunity, and I think the technology, the chatbot and other technologies are here to stay, and this omni-channel platform will surely help give a better customer experience to the organizations. And I hope that this popularity amongst the government also will surely help citizens to get the desired services at the right place and at the right time.
Wonderful. That's wonderful to hear, Mr. Patankar, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you, Ji. Thank you, Neena ji. Thank you.
Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you so much. It's really fantastic to see, public-private partnership delivering prosperity and addressing key issues in India. Thank you both for that very interesting session.